Americans don't like Congress, but its members frequently serve there for 20, 30, even 50 years. So how do we explain such a dismal public approval rating for the institution when people seem to like its component parts? First, we need to distinguish between the Congress and the individual members of Congress. Ask Americans whether most members of Congress should be reelected. Only 1 in 4 Americans says yes. But ask whether their own representative deserves another term, and twice as many say yes. But when you come to Congress, the institution, overall, it doesn't seem to matter which party is in majority control. The numbers have been going down for public approval ever since the early 1970s, about the time of the Nixon impeachment hearings and the Arab oil embargo. There was a spike upward right after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, and Congress went up over 80% approval in the Gallup poll. But that warming trend turned out to be short-lived. By 2004, about half that approval had gone away, and by 2014, Congress had fallen all the way down to historic lows, as low as single digits approval in some measures. Now, in fairness, we don't really know if that was an all-time low for congressional approval. We don't have precise measures back before polling began, but we do have anecdotes and we have jokes like Mark Twain, who once said, "Imagine yourself an idiot. Now imagine yourself a member of Congress." But I repeat myself. And of course, plenty of other comedians have made their share of cracks about Congress since then.
Members of the 113th Congress were sworn in at the Capitol, after which they were like, well, that's enough work for the year.
Looks like those clowns in Congress did it again. What a bunch of clowns.
How does he keep up with the news like that?
The fact is, people see their own individual member as their personal designee, their emissary, someone who's going to go and finally fix this place called Congress. But when that person actually gets to Capitol Hill, soon they're adapting themselves to all those other representatives of all those other people, and to the whole institution of 535 members with its 20-some thousand staff members and the even larger federal bureaucracy in general. And then there are the pressures of party loyalty and the demands of re-election. So the savvy ones go home virtually every weekend to persuade the folks back home that their representative hasn't gone Washington and their representative hasn't forgotten all those promises. Their representative just needs a little more time to finish the job. If they can reassure enough of the voters, they can come back for another term. And soon those terms add up. They add up to seniority, to more influence. They get more power. They get more donations. They get more support. They become Congress. The same Congress the country loves to hate. I'm Ron Elving at NPR. Thanks for coming to my office hours.
And the thing about my jokes is they don't hurt anybody. You can take them or leave them, you know what I mean? But with Congress, every time they make a joke, it's a law. And every time they make a law, it's a joke.